Hi, this is Danny Leon with my final media clip for educating exceptional students. The objective that I chose was objective number 2. The candidate will be able to apply the principles of universal design for learning and differentiated instruction to meet the needs of all students in the classroom. This is something that I feel strongly about. I want to reach as many students as I can and help them be as successful as they can. So I'll kind of go through some of the key elements in the universal design for learning, and then I'll follow that up with the differentiated instruction and how those kind of work together, what similarities they have, and my plans for the future. So the universal design for learning has 3 networks: the who, how, what, the what, how, and why. The recognition networks, that's kind of how we gather facts and categorize what we see, hear, and read. It would be identifying letters and words. The strategic networks, that's the how of learning, the planning and performing of tasks, how we organize and express our ideas, and how we solve problems. Affective networks, the why of learning, that's how learners get engaged and stay motivated, how they are challenged, excited, or interested, and that's something that is very helpful to know, I have found in the classroom. Principles of universal design. The 3 principles are to provide multiple means of representation, to provide multiple means of action and expression, and provide multiple means of engagement. So basically, we need a variety of ways for students to express themselves, to learn, to be engaged. The more ways we can deliver the information, the better. So we can use advanced organizers. The organizers can help students anticipate the relationships between the prior knowledge and new curriculum they need to master. Kind of gives them like a guideline and a goal of where they're going with what they're learning. Differentiated instruction isn't a single strategy, but it's more of a framework that teachers can use to implement a variety of strategies, and that's where that kind of plays into the universal design with the variety of ways to deliver information. And this also has varieties of ways to assess them. Differentiated instruction can be defined as an approach whereby teachers adjust their curriculum and instruction to maximize the learning of all students. Average learners, English language learners, struggling students, students with disabilities, and gifted and talented students. To me, I think differentiated instruction is great for all students. I see how it works with English language learners. I've seen that in the classroom, and it's something that it can easily be done with all students. So we base our differentiated instruction on readiness, interest, and a learning profile. So to determine our readiness, we can examine the results of tests, view academic records, examine work samples. To determine the interests of our students, we can take a survey, have students write in a journal about themselves. They could participate in classroom activities or icebreakers just to give us a better idea of what really gets them going, what they're interested in. When we want to develop a learning profile for students, we could take an inventory or questionnaire, just observing the students, getting to know them, seeing what works for them. So I jotted down a few things about differentiated instruction, like the content, the process, and the product. The same concepts or skills are taught to each student, however the curriculum that's used might be different. The differentiated process, the differentiated product. Basically, they're all the same things. There's just a difference in a variety of ways for students to make sense of the knowledge, to demonstrate their knowledge. All students should be engaged in tasks that are interesting, challenging, engaging, and focused on key concepts and skills introduced by the lesson. If we can keep them engaged and focused, they'll be learning the whole time. So that is key. So how do we prepare our classroom for differentiated instruction? We're going to communicate with the students about it, communicate with the parents, organize the classroom, make sure that there is effective behavior management rules and procedures in place. Everyone needs to know the expectations, the rules, what's expected of them. We need to stay on good time management because we don't want to be off task. That gets a little bit out of control with the classroom of 24 kids. I have seen that happen, and it's hard to get them rounded back in. Working in small groups or pairs and using things that are easy to prepare for, because once we get into things that are too hard to prep, it just becomes a mess. And I have done that myself with my inexperience. I have had things that have a few too many items that need to be prepped, and then it all goes downhill from there. So I am definitely going to keep in mind the low prep activities. So employing effective classroom management and evidence-based strategies. We can do this by grouping our students for instruction, assessing the readiness, teaching to the zone of proximal development. Some strategies that teachers might use for this is to use a variety of instructional approaches. They may alter the assessments to meet the needs of the students. Teachers can use assessment results to adjust their instruction as needed. And I've seen teachers do this with the use of like technology devices like iPads in the classroom, where it gives them like immediate feedback of, assessing students, and they can see what they need to reteach or maybe where they can move on. Teachers can provide a variety of options for students to show how they've learned. They could write, draw, speak, as many ways as possible. Teachers also can use flexible grouping to help with that. So there's some similarities in universal design for learning and differentiated instruction. They do differ on their principles, but I think that they work really well together and complement each other nicely. They both share a common goal to help all students learn and achieve. Adjustments can be made to ensure that all students will have the opportunity to succeed, and that is our goal. And our goal has and always will be to make education accessible to all students with or without disabilities. I personally will work hard to ensure that my future students will have opportunities to succeed in all areas of the classroom and our classroom community. I look forward to using the information I have gained in this course in my own classroom someday. I am so pleased with the amount of information that we have covered. I feel like I've gained a greater understanding for not just students with exceptionalities, but all students. And I look forward to putting this knowledge to use. Here's my little title page, my references. And again, thank you so much and have a great break.